think I made a mistake. I'll just put my manga wrap-up off for a few months. Oh god, it's a bowl full of manga. Okay. I made a mistake. We've all made mistakes. Don't judge me. That's More My Hero. Single volume. Okay. Let's do the single volumes first. I don't even remember what digital stuff was I read. Oh, I guess I should say welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah, and supposedly once a month I do manga wrap-ups. I just skipped December, and so now I have a big one for 2 months, which is funny because I didn't read that much manga. I was going to say any, but I think I read maybe 1 or 2 in January, so this is all December. So, as I was saying, single volumes. At the bottom, we have Demon Slayer Kimetsu Academy. This is the new one-shot where it is looking at the, future generation of the Slayers and them going to school and just little school adventures. It's done in this style that you see on the cover. It is very cute and very hilarious. This is definitely not required reading for the series, but as a fan, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very funny. It was a very relaxing read. It was just a little slice of happiness during the day, and I needed that in December. So I really like this. There's not a ton to say about it right now. There's no big through plot yet, just fun little short stories. Mainly we focused on Zenitsu and him getting up to things. Let's put Koro Sensei behind me. Hey. I got Koro Sensei for Christmas. My buddy, who was reading or watching Assassin's Classroom as I was reading it, got that for me. I love him. He's so cute. Okay. The next single volume I read was Witch Hat Atelier. I say I read, but in the stack. Kitchen. This is again another side story quest sort of thing. It's not connected to the main plotline of Witch Hat Atelier, which I do intend to pick back up soon. It's just little stories of Quiffery and I can't remember this gentleman's name here. Them making meals for themselves, each other, and the girls, and how they get the ingredients, where they come from, and what it's like to cook with magic. It's very cute. It's beautiful, as all Witch Hat Atelier is. It is just little short fun slices of joy throughout the day. I don't know if this one is one that I would super highly recommend if you're a fan of the Witch Hat Atelier manga. If you see it fairly cheap or you see it at your library, it could be worth a pickup. Whereas this, I would say, I think it's worth the $10 because I really like slice of life, cozy side quest sort of installments and series. This one just didn't quite scratch the same itch as Kimetsu Academy did, so I don't know that I would recommend it. I actually don't know if I'll continue buying the Kitchen volumes. I might check them out of the library once they get them in, and we'll see where they go from there. But it was fun. It was fun for the time I read it, and I always love the artwork of Witch Hat Atelier, so that's good. Okay, so the next ones are all just actual parts of series that I'm reading. I read the 4th Marmalade Boy. This continues to be a good example of it dated poorly. I'm still reading it, of course, because I love... Oh, sorry, fixing you. I loved this series as a teen, but it definitely shows its age. It's got some, this one really focused in on the teacher-student relationship, and she's, again, in 8th grade, I think, when this series is going on, so she's maybe 14 or 15, if I recall correctly. She's very young. She's very young, and they're desperately in love, and she wants to be with him, and she's going to put her life on hold for him. It's a little uncomfortable to read. I'm not gonna lie to you. Can't say I recommend this. However, if you are a fan of the series, as an adult, you read it as a kid, you could probably enjoy these. I enjoy it for what it is, but I do really have a problem now as an adult seeing this through an adult lens with that relationship. I think this is the last volume where we focus in on that. I do believe the next ones we focus more back in on Miki and you. We'll see. I don't know. I hope so. I can't remember clearly because it's been almost 20 years since I read that series. Fingers crossed though. I'm getting real tired of that. Very creepy teacher. Things that are not creepy and were just gross. Rooster Fighter. Rooster Fighter 5. This is a series that I cannot pitch to you as a good series to pick up unless you like over-the-top crazy things like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This is about a rooster who fights giant demons that have invaded the world and are slowly like trying to wipe out mankind and everything else. And he does a lot of kicking and cock-a-doodle-doing and fights them back. And this is the 5th volume, and we're starting to see how everything connects. We're starting to see possibly who might be like pulling the strings, causing these demons to pop up, or who is even controlling them. And this is the first 3 volumes were sequels to each other, but there was no like through plot line, a very strong one. But this one definitely has a strong connection to volume 4. So if you've read volume 4, this is a great one to pick up because we continue with some of those characters. I really like this. It ends on a hell of a cliffhanger. I cannot wait for volume 6. I really gotta know what's going on. We see a lot more about our little chick. I think she goes by Duty, and we see a few new characters. So we've got some possible family relationships for our main chicken friend here, and it was a great installment. Like, I've loved the series just because of how over the top and silly it is up until now. It's a rooster fighting against giant demon monsters. And when I say giant demon monsters, I mean they're like kaiju size. Like, there's Morio. Like, they're kaiju size. So it's wacky and over the top. The sort of thing I love. But this one and the one before it really gave it some depth and gave it a little bit of a connecting meta plot. So that's a series I am going to continue to read. If you like that type of thing, I think you could enjoy this. Pick it up from the library or give the actual volumes a try. I'm going to keep spending money on it because I really enjoy it. It's a pre-order series. I pick it up. Another series I pick up as it comes out, The Ancient Magus' Bride by Kore Yamazaki. This is the end of the college arc. The next arc, oh, there was a teaser at the end of this. There's a teaser at the end of this, and I don't know if I'm ready for what it teases. One of my favorite characters may be popping off, and that scares me quite badly. But this finally ties up the story that we've been pursuing in the college arc. So, Ancient Magus Bride is about a young woman who is sold to a ancient magus, and he frees her and then begins to teach her magic and how to control her own innate magic, which is very plentiful. And she, in the first arc, deals with a great evil, and then at the end of that arc, they move on to a college for alchemists, and she enrolls and he teaches, and something happens in which students and teachers alike are being attacked and basically put into a trance-like coma state, and they have to figure out what's going on. They figure it out, and in this, they resolve it mostly. My one complaint about this was that we didn't completely get a resolution, but the arc ended. My assumption is that we are going to see some of those pieces from this arc continue into the next one, and that's what's going to cause some tensions and possibly a snapping point with another group. I am worried. If you've been reading up till now and you haven't picked this volume up, I highly recommend doing so. Like I said, it's a conclusion to an arc, and it does tease the next one, which looks intense. I'm trying to go through these fast. Can you tell? I have a lot here. I'm very tired, so I'm pushing to get through these fast. On a less intense note, I finally picked up the 4th Pokemon Adventures bind-up. I love Pokemon. I have loved Pokemon since I was but a wee thing, so this was a delight. If you are a Pokemon fan, or you were in the past, I actually really recommend these. I recommend starting from Volume 1, so Adventures Volume 1, which I do believe I have hold. If you're looking for the bind-up, it will look like this. I believe the first cover actually looks very similar to this. It's got red on it with Pikachu. This is a fantastic series. It's very, very, very different from the show. Completely different setup. Well, not setup, it's the same setup, but completely different, like character cast and things happening. It's darker than the show, if you would believe that. It's very good. So in this one, we get more of the plot that we see kind of in the games. They sort of bleed through in this more than they do if you watch the show. So it's a little more familiar. This specific volume covers the story of my favorite generation, which is the second generation with the legendary dogs, Ho-Oh, Lugia, Totodile, Chikorita, Cyndaquil, those Pokemon. These were my favorites growing up. We also get a new trainer in this one, so each trainer we follow has a different strength. And Crystal in this one, she is very, I don't know if she goes by Crystal or what she goes by in this, I can't remember because it's been 2 months. But she is a capture trainer. Her whole thing is she captures, which I can relate to. I play the game to catch them all. I don't really play the game to battle them. Battle Tower and all that stuff's fine, but I'm there for the Pokedex. And that's the type of trainer she is. We see trainers from the previous volumes that we know and love. So Red makes an appearance. Yellow, who is my favorite. I actually intend on getting a tattoo of Yellow on this arm soonish. They make an appearance. Don't want to spoil anything about Yellow. And this is them dealing with the legendary birds waking up, the legendary dogs also waking up, and some shady characters are attempting to capture these creatures and attempting to, you know, rise back up. Team Rocket, of course. I don't know why I'm being cagey. It's Team Rocket. So good. I wish more people read this. I really do. These are great. One of the things that I like to tell people, and they don't really believe me, is that when you battle in Pokemon in the manga, the Pokemon battle your Pokemon and you. So you're going to get attacked by the Pokemon. They're going to try to kill you. Like, there's been more than a few times when characters have shouted, kill them. Like, it's a little darker. It's a little darker. It's good. It's fantastic. But it's a little darker. I highly recommend it. It's a little darker, they say. Go read it. Moving on briskly. I read the next 2 volumes of Imakoi that I was behind on, which actually brings me to caught up with the series. This volume continues to focus in on Noda and Satomi, the 2 best friends of our initial cast, and their relationship, which is absolutely adorable. He is such a little curmudgeon. He's so aloof, but I really love him. I loved him before, and I'm very happy to see them together. And this one, we focus back in on Miria, is that her name? And, no, Yagyu and Miria, I think is their names. I can't remember everybody's names. Again, 2 months. And one of them was a big holiday. And then a daughter's birthday, so it's been a while. This focused back in on their relationship, and I think the series might be coming to an end soon. We'll see, possibly volume 10. I'm making that up just based on like little bits I've seen online in covers, so who knows. Continues to be a very, very sweet little series about what happens after a confession of love, so how these relationships are developing, what kind of challenges they face, and how these kids are growing together. Love it. It's another little happy series. When I read it, it just makes my heart happy. And I am always pleased to return. Let's talk about the one digital series I read, which was One Piece. And I get it now. I do get it now. I am up to volume 11 of One Piece. Or I finished volume 11, so I'm on volume 12. I understand the hype. I love One Piece now. It took up until the 9th and 10th volumes for me to really, really sink into the characters and love them. I cried in that last little arc, which if you know, you know. You could probably assume where that was. That scene. We even watched the first episode of the show that's out on Netflix, which is unheard of for me. I don't watch a lot of shows. And I really liked it, and hopefully we'll continue at some point. We've only watched one episode in 2 months, so we'll see. But I get it now. I get it now. This is fantastic. Volume 12 started off a new arc, I think. I think it was Volume 12 or the end of Volume 11 started off a new arc. It hasn't quite hooked me just yet, but hopefully I will continue to read and enjoy it. So that is a big win for me. I'm very excited. I'll probably, once I have caught up on this next series that I'm going to show you, once I'm caught up on getting copies of this, I'm probably going to start picking up the copies of One Piece to add to my very full bookshelf that really needs I really need a new one just for manga at this rate. It's not looking good. And on that note, I read a lot of My Hero Academia. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 volumes? Or 6 volumes in December and beginning of January. So I read volume 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This finishes the school festival arc, which means this has brought us into the new stuff I haven't watched. I have watched up to the end of the school festival, so I think that's season 2, end of season 1, something like that. But I have not seen past that. And that is what volume 8 forward is. So this is all new content for me. I've seen spoilers. I know things that are going to happen. Spoilers don't affect me. I absolutely love spoilers. Spoilers make me want to keep reading, so that's good. At the end of this one, they are training with the Pussycats in their like wilderness retreat sort of thing. I really like the Pussycats, and I really like where they're possibly going with this. One of the Pussycats' nephew is there, and his parents were both heroes, and they were killed, I think was what they said it was. And they're going to kind of look at the idea of not everyone wants to be a hero and what that means and why that is. And I think we need that at this point. We've had 8 volumes of just heroes are great and wonderful, and I think we really need that like kind of buzzkill in there to make the world seem a little more fleshed out, that there are people out there who don't like the heroes besides the villains. So I'm excited to see. And I actually went to the used bookstore a couple days ago and got the next 3 for what, $6 a piece. So I have the next 3. I have 9, 10, 11 to read, so I will hopefully be reading those in the next couple of days. Besides that, I have also read, and I will talk about at the end of the month, the full first arc of JoJo, the first 3 volumes of JoJo. I also found those at the used bookstore for very cheap, like $10. So I will cover that the next time I do one of these, which, like I said, should be at the end of the month. Fingers crossed. Besides that, I am going to catch up on the My Hero that I have, and that's all of my owned manga. I don't know that I'm going to buy anything new. No, I don't think so. For my shelves that I will need to read, unless I get back to the used bookstore and buy more like JoJo or anything. But I will try to pick up more of One Piece. I read that on my phone, which means if my daughter has my phone, I'm not reading. Which she has had my phone recently. I've been trying to cut back on my screen time. We'll see what happens. I don't have any big plans outside of that for my manga reading. So I will see you guys for manga in a few more weeks. Fingers crossed I don't put it off again. I just have not had the energy to film in the past month. The holidays really zapped me out, but feeling better, feeling ready to go, and I will talk to you guys again then. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Koro Sensei says hi. And I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.